Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fariha binti Ahmad Rasti. Today, I will be presenting about the introduction for our mini project. In this mini project, we select Royal Dutch Shell to conduct our case study. Royal Dutch Shell, also known as Shell, is the multinational oil and gas company. In 1907, Shell was formed by two big companies, which is Royal Dutch Petroleum Company from Netherlands and the Shell Transport and Trading Company from United Kingdom. Now, Shell has operation in over 70 countries and has around 44 service stations in the worldwide. The numbers of employees in Shell is around 86,000 workers. The location selected for our mini project is Shell Simpang Taiping, Shell Section 7 Shah Alam, Shell Sipitang Sabah, Shell Lundang Kota Baru and Shell Jalan Meru Klang.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hello, thank you to Fariha. I am Hamza bin Notin. I will present this assignment for the part A, which is facility for occupational safety and health. First of all, relevant are or regulation or standard of the petrol station shell that we do in our project. The petrol station is under the dangerous substance. Storage may possess several risks, live fire or explosion, or environment damage when handled by individual. In regulation of 1979, SI 311 of 1979, detail and private petroleum store. All staff are adequately trained. Storage tank and dispatch pump are adequately maintained and monitored. Other regulation is Occupation Safety and Health Act 1994, Section 15 state that to ensure the safety, health and welfare at work, general duty of employer to their employee are to provide information, instruction, training and supervision. Next is personal protective equipment or PPE. This guy is the workers at the Shell workstation. The general is provide the safety boot and safety shoe and the safety vest or something like this. The rope that reflect the light. And this is some of the facility that has at the Shell petrol station to prevent the hazard and safety equipment that have the Shell workstation. Like stop button, there has 3 stop button, one at the pump station and the 2 at the shop and inside the shop near the manager room. And also the fire extinguisher at the pump station. This fire extinguisher is use type ABC powder that is suitable for the fuel to if anything happen. And also they provide the smoke detector and the assembly point, and also they have a sign that exists to if anything happen in the dark, so this we know where the door. These are the block that to block the car if some accident that maybe the car is moved too fast and cannot brake and it will go to the shop. This is to prevent it from the car or vehicle to enter the shop. And also there is a CCTV to monitor if anything happen in the petrol station or any robbery or any accident. Okay, next is safety signs. Safety science facilities, there are several type, and the color that represent the type of the safety, like the prohibition signal that is have the red color. It should to the don't smoke here. Okay. The next is the blue color is the monitoring mandatory signs, and the hazard signs, which is the dangers, like this one, cair mudah terbakar, or liquid that quick to explode or to burn. And do not use phone at the workstation, or turn off your phone is the red color, which is the prohibition sign. And for the green color is the safe condition, like the exist signs, and the information sign, like the toilet signs or restroom sign. Okay, for the maintenance program or communication tool and safety checklist, there are basic rule and safety procedure for safe and carefree site every time, which is mobile phone. We have to turn off our mobile phone, or do not use while in the petrol station, and turn off the car engine while refueling the fuel, and do not sit on the bike while refueling the fuel, because to avoid the passenger or the driver from inhaling the petrol vapor, and keep the children under the constant supervision, and remove the key and turn off the engine, and secure the vehicle with the handbrake and the gear, and do not smoke at the petrol work station. Okay, there is also several inspection checklist is based on or should be used in conjunction. This is the type of the checklist at the workplace health and safety Queen Island WHSQ have been published. Uh, a guide for service station, like a petrol station operator under the World Health and Safety Act 2011. The checklist has been developed to help operator control the risk associated and with the store and handling of fuel. The World Health and Safety Regulation 2011 require risk associated with hazardous chemical be minimized as far as reasonable practical. Okay, Shell also provide the event between the staff, like the safety day. This is the picture at the SNA Victory Enterprise, one of the Shell company at the between Kedah and Perlis. Okay, this event is to expect the employee to personal take responsibility in these three area, which is to comply with the safety rule and regulation relevant to their work. And the second is to prevent unsafe condition at the workplace. Also to respect the fellow worker and communities in which they are placed. This is also the event that Shell is provide with the customer, which is Shell's team, STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics programmer, to entice and empower and equip future generation, which is their goal to help deliver a growing, diverse and talented population of problem solving, and the innovator with the leader skill to meet the greatest energy demand, while reducing the carbon emission. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. I will pass the presentation to our next clip. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farah Nabila binti Abdul Jami. I am from Emd7m3a who would like to present on part B, hazard that might occur and the way to avoid. Based on the slide, there are hierarchy of hazard control. Hazard is a situation that might have a potential on giving harm to humans, where it can cause injury and might affect damage to the property, environment, or both at the same time. All hazards that happen at the workplace should be eliminated, and it cannot be ignored. And also, it might happen accident if there no elimination on it. Based on the hierarchy control shown, the more effective way to eliminate the hazard is by physically remove the hazard. Second one is substitution, where it replaces the hazard. And then engineering control, where it isolates the workers from the hazard. The fourth is administrative control. This hazard change the way work is performed. And then the last one is less effective way is personal protective equipment. In this hazard, the workers are required to wear the safety boots or any safety equipment to avoid any accidents or hazard, especially slip. And then there are type of hazard. At the petrol station, there are 5 types of hazard. It is physical hazard, psychological hazard, ergonomic hazard, chemical hazard, and fire hazard. For physical hazard is an environmental factor that can cause harm to employees or customer without necessarily touching or contact with it. This hazard include exposure to fall, trips, vibration, radiation. This hazard can limit the activities at the petrol station. So these 3 hazards can be found at the petrol station. Slip and fall, gas pump nozzle being used wrong way, safety of the workers. So slip and fall can cause by the spill of fuels. It can cause people to fall down if they step or walk on the fuels. Second one is gas pump nozzle hose being used wrong way. As you can see in the picture shown, the customer pull the hose opposite to the vehicle to fill the fuel inside the car. So this is very harmful. And then the third one is safety of the workers. Normally at the petrol station, the safety of the workers need to be extra careful, where there are robbery can happen. It can treat the workers and endanger the workers' life. Second one is psychological hazard, is worker behavior on the job. This happen if the workers are overworked or working overtime. So they are in motivation. There's no motivation for the workers to work, and it will not perform well in customer service or alert in any awareness. The third one is ergonomic hazard. Ergonomic hazard is a workplace condition that constitute risk to the musculoskeletal system of the person. So this is three hazard that can be found at the petrol station that related to the ergonomic. So the first one is when the inspection process, when the workers open the manhole by using improper tools, it can cause back pain and other injuries that can happen during the process. This can be avoided by using the proper tools to open the manhole. And second one is pump car tire. These are focused on the customer of the petrol station. They used to bend when filling the air inside the tire. So to avoid this, the customer need to aware and um, properly use the pump. And then the third one is manual handling of the gas pump. This is always happen where when customer are filling the fuel inside the vehicle, they need to use extra pressure to press the nozzle to let the fuel fill in the tank. So when they press too much longer, they can cause numb to their hand. So to avoid this, most of the petrol station has installed the lock trigger where the customer once press the nozzle and lock the trigger, so they did not have to press for a long time. So the fourth one is chemical hazard. Chemical hazard caused by chemical. Some chemical that being exposed to workers at the workplace may cause long-term health effect. Okay, this is a rainbow effect. Rainbow effect is the mixture of fuels and water combined together, and it can cause a rainbow effect as shown as in the picture. The effect is flammable and it can cause fire if contact with ignition source. Last but not least, fire hazard, flame and explosion. This hazard can cause by smoking the cigarette. Sometimes customer cigarette while filling the fuels. So this is a very dangerous to the people surrounding. So the customer need to aware with the sign that shows at the petrol station where smoking is not allowed. For spark, normally happen for electrical compliances where the wiring of the petrol station need to be installed properly to avoid any spark or short circuit happen. Last is fuel leaks. Fuel leaks is normally occur at the underground at the fuel storage. If the fuel leaks and it exposed to the ignition source, it will cause fire and explosion.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azrul. I will present about the emergency procedure during accident. Okay, there is five uh, point that I have put in the slide. First is the fire. When fire occurs, electric shock, oil spill. This is for the when emergency, and this is for claim and report. Okay, fire occurring while refueling. Okay, the standard procedure that we will do when fire happens is, first, do not remove the nozzle from the vehicle. After that, press the emergency shut off button at the gas pump and immediately notify the station attendant about the fire. After that, the station attendant will shut off all the pumps at the gas station with the master emergency control. After that, they will evacuate to the emergency assembly point, and finally, we will call fire station for further assistance. Usually, fire occurs because of the static electric from the customer. They do not remove the static electric, so the fire will spark by the static electric. Okay, for the evacuation, the standard procedure is, first we will identify the emergency situation, which which is it, which is if we needed full or partial evacuation. After that, we will follow the evacuation map and move to the assembly point. Do not panic, just relax and follow the instruction. After that, the workers will turn on the emergency response system to signal the emergency evacuation situation. After that, shut down the safety switches on the pump and other equipment to avoid it to be explode. And finally, call for the emergency team. Okay, this is for claims and insurance to from customer. Okay, first, assess your injury. Call ambulance if you require it. After you get the ambulance, we need to keep the medical report and receipt for any expenses due to the accident. After that, if you can obtain the photograph, it will be better to make a evidence to the incident, and get the names and the contact detail of the other who witnessed the accident. It will help us to fight for the case, and ask the manager for the accident book and file a written report of what happened. And finally, if you can ask to see CCTV footage, it will be better. But sometimes, petrol station do not give the permission because it's involved with privacy. And finally, contact a personal injury solicitor. Okay, for the oil spill, uh, the workers need to remove all personnel from the spill area to the safe distance. Uh, and if you can evaluate the how many spill at the area. After that, if it's safe to do, we must attempt to stop the source of the spill. For example, we turn off the pump, and workers need to warn people in the areas and inform their supervisor. And we need to follow the prescribed spill procedure for the liquid involved. For type of liquid, there is different procedure they need to do. Uh, to remove the spill, we need to wear appropriate equipment, and if it's safe, we need to contain the spill by using absorbent materials such as soil, and build a barrier around the flow of the spill material. We also can use rubber mat to cover any drains, manhole, and cage basin to prevent infiltration of spill material. And finally, once the spill migration has been stopped, clean up the spill material. Okay, for electric shock case, workers need to observe the situation. Do not touch the victim. If it's still contact with source of electricity, it will be very dangerous to the workers if they immediately touch the victim. After that, we shut down the electrical equipment and move the victim away from the electrical equipment using a isolated object such as wood or rubber. After that, we check the condition of the victim. If need immediate immediate help, call ambulance and give CPR if needed. We also need to workers also need to control the accident area from the public, so it will not be panic, right? And finally, we call the emergency response team and medical assistant. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Farid Farhanun Abdul. I will present the part D for our group presentation, which is for the OSH management system. So first is for the daily and routine enforcement of OSH at site. So for the usual routine, the workers need to make sure that the petrol pumps being placed correctly after being used. Next, they need to make sure that the floor always clean and dry to prevent slippery, and the toilet need to be cleaned every hour to make sure that it's comfortable to use. For the additional routine during COVID-19, the sanitizer bottle need to be checked daily and refilled when it is empty. The workers also need to make sure that the infrared thermometer fully charged and can function correctly, and all the high-touch areas such as the door handle and the nozzle are disinfected regularly. For the safety committee, all workers at the petrol station are registered as safety committee's member, and one of them will be appointed as a leader that need to make sure that all the workers follow and understand the company health and the safety policy. He also need to make sure that all the workers wear protective equipment when doing their tasks. And immediate investigation need to be done when there is an accident report made by the members. So for the members, they need to follow and understand the company health and safety policy. They need to wear the personal protective equipment when doing tasks. And when there is an accident occur, they need to immediately report it to the leader. And they need to take responsibility for their own safety and the peoples around them. For the awareness and training program, which is important to all the workers, because by this program, workers will be more aware about the safety and precaution at the petrol station. So for example, there is a talk or briefing about how to implement the safety policy by the manager of the petrol station. There is also a program about emergency evacuation at least twice a year, and a training is being provided for a first aid treatment training. Next is the inspection procedure. For the storage area, a weekly inspection need to be done. The person in charge need to make sure that the sign "Do not enter without permission" can be seen clearly, because only workers are given permissions to enter the storage area. The person in charge also need to check the tools in the storage by referring to a checklist provided. If there is any damage or not enough stock, he need to inform the manager as soon as possible. He also need to make sure that the door always being locked, and the environment of the storage area need to be clean and clear to prevent any dangerous animal from staying there. Next is the procedure when filling the underground oil tank. The person in charge need to make sure that there are no people or vehicles in nearby area before open the tank top seal, and it is better to close down the petrol station until the process is done. He also need to make sure that the truck park at the correct area and make a boundary at the area, for example by using a safety cone or a safety tape. A warning signboard also need to be prepared by the person in charge. The third inspection procedure is for the fire extinguisher. The person in charge need to make sure that the fire extinguisher is at a good condition, and he need to separate any expired fire extinguisher. To check the condition, the needle located near to the nozzle must be pointed at the green area. The person in charge also can check the date of expiry for the fire extinguisher at the fire extinguisher body. This is because the disposable fire extinguisher and rechargeable fire extinguisher has different duration of expiry. Next slide is for the application of PPE. PPE is the specialized clothing or equipment, and it is one of the safety regulation of OSHA. The PPE that can be seen at the petrol station are such as safety boots, glove, and reflective vests. For the notification, warning, and emergency system, first for the notification, there is a product information shown at the signboard at the entry of the petrol station, and there is a hazard sign near the petrol pump area. For the emergency system, there is a push button to use when there is an emergency. When the button are being pushed, all the system will stop immediately. And when the cover of the push button being lifted, an alarm will be active. There is also an emergency speaker being installed at the area. Last slide is for the whistleblower and reward. Shell petrol station really care about their workers' safety and environment. They will take immediate action if there is any misconduct or wrongdoing by other workers or customers at the area of the petrol station. And of course, the whistleblower identity will remain secret to keep themselves. As for the reward, Shell Malaysian Safety Awards are given to the business partner who have excelled in the area of health and safety. By doing this, they can create awareness and motivate the other business partner about the importance of health and safety at the workplace. So that's all from us. Thank you.